right now, very pleased to have with us from Team Smith & Wesson, Molly Smith. How you doing, Molly?
Pretty good. How about you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming out.
My pleasure.
Last time we saw each other was Las Vegas at the SHOT Show, right?
Yep.
How's everything going for you?
Fantastic. I've just kept on shooting some more and getting ready for some upcoming competitions. So just keep on practicing and getting on board for that.
That's great. Now, when is the summer season really is when you do a lot of your shooting, right? Because you're in school.
Yeah, I really have to wait until summer, and then sometimes, like for SHOT Show, I'm able to get away with missing a week by doing all my work in advance or right during that week, so I'm able to turn it in as soon as I get back. Luckily, my school's really good about that. But yeah, I have some matches coming up. The big one's the Bianchi Cup in May. Yeah. So I will be competing in that again with my iron-sighted revolver.
Very cool. By the way, is this going to be an excused absence for you to be on the show today? Do I need to write a note?
Yeah, that'd be great, actually.
Okay.
Can you write that?
Sure.
My principal, that'd be perfect.
No problem. Now, you might actually get in trouble when they figure out where you were, right? Or they're pretty good. They know what you do.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, that's good. So, for folks who are unaware, and I'm sure that there are some folks who are just astounded that you can actually have a 16-year-old member of Team Smith & Wesson who lives in California. How did you get started shooting?
Well, really, my dad, he just wanted my brother and I to know gun safety, and that was the first step. I was about 10 or 11 years old. He took us to the range, and he taught us rifle safety and said, here, go ahead and shoot the targets a couple of times. And I'm like, it's smelly, it's kind of hot outside, I kind of want to go play Barbies again. But the range officer actually came up to me and was like, hey, I bet you can't hit that target. Oh, no, he didn't. There was no going back at that point. So I decided to keep shooting until I was good enough to hit the center of the target. And from then on, I just fell in love and just kept on shooting and shooting and shooting. And then I tried revolvers because people noticed I like to go fast. Mm-hmm. So they started me with action shooting and handguns and learned the safety for that and went into that and don't want to stop ever. It's fantastic. That is
so cool. I mean, you're so enthusiastic about this. You can tell that your love of shooting sports is so genuine. I'm curious, what are your, again, since we're in California and we think of this place as such an anti-gun atmosphere, what has the reaction been like among your friends and, the people that you're in school with? Like, do they think it's really cool that you do this?
I get really mixed reviews a lot of times. My friends can be like, oh, that's terrific. I want to see you shoot. I want to go shooting. And I love that. I love, especially with some of the girls who are a little bit more intimidated, to get them involved first and let them go to some clinics, like the Guns and Ladies Clinic in Morro Bay, for example, is a great program. We have 60 to 100 women every month of new shooters that are wanting to get involved.
Wow.
So I get a lot of that sort of enthusiasm, but I also get some, doesn't that mean you kill people? And no, it doesn't. I shoot paper targets pretty well. I mean, that target didn't know what was happening. I took care of that.
Right. I mean, honestly, when you put it that way, the shooting, the average high school football player is rougher on other human beings than you are shooting for Team Smith & Wesson, right?
Yeah. To an extent, yeah.
But it seems to me like you do a really good job of using those kind of remarks as an opportunity to explain the sport.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of times people don't understand what's going on when I'm at the range shooting. I don't know what they think, but they just don't know that I'm treating it as a true sport where I have to concentrate, I have to practice, and I put in that effort in order to reach the highest potential that I can because it's something that I love to do. And it's not something that I'm doing because I'm malicious or violent. It's something that I'm doing because it's a passion of mine. And so what if I get a little bit of an adrenaline rush if I shoot a 45 every once in a while and curse my wrist a little bit? But that's okay. So
I love it. I think it's fantastic. So what made you decide? You were talking about the revolver and how you like the action of this. Look at you. You're like my wife with her 32 Smith & Wesson as well. So describe this. Why do you prefer the revolver over, let's say, a semi-automatic?
Well, first off,
okay,
it's a little bit more challenging, which I really, really like. Because for me, I don't like having the optic sight a lot of times because I figured that when I was given the option, hey, would you like, I'm sorry, they let me try both a revolver and then a semi-auto, and I like the revolver more because I couldn't hit anything with it at first. So I decided—
More of a challenge for you.
Yeah, it's that same sort of thing when I first got involved, how I wasn't very good at first, and then I was able to tone and get into that mindset where I was able to shoot well. So from there, it really encouraged me to want to try and do better things with my shooting and get better there. But really, with the revolver, it's the trigger pull. It's really long and challenging. It's heavier, but the weight distribution is different, and really the people involved too. You get a lot of the really high caliber shooters. Pun. Oops. How many times have I said that one? Get those involved. Really good shooters get involved with semi-autos, with the open sights, and that's where the big challenge is. But I do love that atmosphere, and that's really fun for me. But with the revolvers, a lot of times it's more the people who are doing it for fun and because they really, really love the sport. And I love being around that and just being in that sort of environment with ICOR, the International Confederation of Revolver Enthusiasts, and IRC, the International Revolver Championship. That's in June. So that's the big match I'm getting ready for.
Okay. Now when you go to these matches, does your competitiveness kick in? And what is it like? Do you ever get intimidated? I mean, here you are, you're 16 years old. You know, you're competing against people who sometimes 2, maybe 3 times your age. Is that intimidating, or are they intimidated by you, the wonderkind?
I think it goes a little bit both ways. My mom likes to try to get me to be more competitive because I don't necessarily have that much competition with other people. It's mostly with myself, and I think that's a good thing, and I've been told that that's a good thing because I'm not so concerned about someone else. If I can shoot well, if I can beat my prior score and feel comfortable with what I did, then that's an improvement for me, and I'm happy with that. That being said, sometimes I go to the range and I shoot really well, and someone else who might be 3 or 4 times my age doesn't shoot that well, and they approach me with some comments such as, "I didn't shoot as well, and I am 4 times your age." And at that point, it's funny. It's nice.
Are you able to offer many tips? Like, well, listen, I don't want to tell you what to do here, but...
Sometimes. If they ask, I might. But a lot of times it's just everyone has their good days and their bad days, and it really just boils down to that. So it's really about just encouraging yourself and really that self-improvement from practicing and just seeing it all pay off in a match.
Yeah. Now, around the country, we know that interest in the shooting sports, particularly among young Americans and women, is really growing. How hard is it to get into the sport in a state like California?
It's difficult to say because I've been in California only, so I can't really compare it to other places.
Right.
But it's not that difficult that I found in the sense of, you can go to the range and you can borrow someone's guns. However, it is difficult to get ammunition at times. You might have to special order it in advance in order to get that involved.
Even for a member of Team Smith & Wesson, you're having trouble getting ammo sometimes too?
I have a bullet sponsor I can talk to.
No, I was kind of hit you up for that actually, but...
Oh, darn. Maybe we could ask. Hey guys!
Molly needs ammo.
So does this one.
And I could use some extra too. So you're dealing with the same struggles that the gun owners around the country are dealing with, just
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's got to be tough because, I mean, as you look, May's right around the corner, Bianchi's right around the corner. What is your normal practice routine as you're getting ready for Bianchi? How many days a week are you out there shooting?
Well, last year it was a lot more than this year. For various reasons, a lot of times the ammo and also the school load. I'm doing a lot of work with school and different activities with that, so that's taking a lot of time. I try to get out to the range on the weekends for sure, 2 days a week, definitely, and I try to fit in another day on a weekday. But my most practicing actually comes the week before the Bianchi Cup. I go there and they have a practice range where they have all of the stages set up for practice, and I'm just there all day. And I just practice, and then I leave for lunch and I come back, and yes, that's where I get a lot of my practice in. Okay,
all right. Now I got to ask you as well, your parents, you could not do this without your parents.
Yeah, I mean, no, they're fantastic.
When your dad took you to the range for the first time, I'm sure he did not ever think one day, only a few years from now, my daughter is going to be doing this. Do they put restrictions on you? Like, do you have to maintain a minimum grade point average? Do they say, Molly, if you drop below this, you can't shoot anymore?
They don't really have to with me because I'm really, really trying hard to reach my full potential, not only shooting, but in everything I can do. So I'm really aiming for very good colleges and things like that. So I work hard on myself. Sometimes I have to decide, should I go to the range or should I study? And a lot of times I have to study. And no, that's not as much fun, but I know that it will pay off, and so that one day I will have enough of an education so I can have enough money so I can shoot a lot more so I can actually get those bullets. So it's really an investment. That's how I look at it.
I love this. You know, for anybody out there who is just wringing their hands and thinking, oh, America's so screwed up, the future is so bad, you know, we've got this next generation of Americans and they're all spoiled brats. No, they're not. Molly Smith is a perfect example of the type of Americans that we don't hear about. We hear about the slackers, we hear about the laggards, we hear about the people who want other people to do stuff for them, and then you have people like Molly. And I really, Molly, I can't tell you what an inspiration you are to me, someone who is roughly like more than twice your age. You are an inspiration. You're an inspiration to me because, again, you're just out there and you're doing it. You know that no one's gonna do this for you. No one is going to, you know, make you a better shooter. No one's going to make you a better scholar. This is all stuff that you have to do, and you have to put in the hard work, and you recognize that, yeah, it may stink at the time, but down the road, there's a good outcome. And I really admire that because I got to tell you, in this day and age, I just don't think we have a lot of people of any age, not just teenagers, who are able to think about long-term planning. You know, it seems like a lot of people just get caught up in the short term and they don't think about why am I doing this and how's this going to pay off for me years down the road. So, yay, you made me feel better about the future of America, Molly.
Thank you so much.
Whew, I feel so good now. All right, so when is Bianchi? It's end of May, right?
End of May, yes. It's the weekend of the 22nd, 20th. That week, it's 3 to 4 days of shooting, of actual shooting, and then there's the awards afterwards. And then before then, it's ton of practicing.
All right, we got to take a break, but Molly, best of luck to you at Bianchi. Thank you so much for coming in studio.
Thank you so much. It was great seeing you again.
And you too.